Welcome to our podcast, Shalom Chaverim. We're so happy to have you with us today, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Hi everyone, it's great to have you here. In this podcast, we hope to bring a little bit of our Israeli perspective and discuss topics that are less talked about. For each episode, we'll have a word of the episode, and today's word is chaver, which means friend in Hebrew. Chaverim is the plural and means friends. Pretty cool, right?
We'll also end each episode with an Israeli song that we love, so worth waiting for that. This episode is just going to be getting to know us and what we do here in Cincinnati. We're here to talk about the connections we're building and how all of that fits in our program. My name is Naama. I'm 17 and live in Haifa. Haifa is in the north of Israel, right on the Mediterranean Sea. I have 3 younger siblings, 2 brothers who are 6 and 11, and a sister who's 16. Being an older sister is my favorite thing in the world, and me and my siblings are super close. I love music, hearing it or making it. I played the piano for close to 10 years and even went to an arts middle school. I also love reading, especially ever since I lived in Boulder, Colorado, for 3 years, where I started reading in English. And I'm really into sports too, especially trying new ones and hiking with my family all over beautiful Israel.
My name is Ron, I'm 17 and I live in Netanya, which is located closer to the center of Israel, right by the Mediterranean Sea too. I have 2 siblings, an older brother who's 21, and a little sister who is only a few months old and currently is mostly sleeping and crying, but she's the cutest. I love learning about diplomacy and have gone on 5 different delegations, which are educational trips that bring representatives from Israel to learn about international relations and specifically Judaism. The delegations that I went on gave me the chance to travel all over the world, from Scotland to Morocco and many other countries. I also love food, mostly cooking and baking recipes from TikTok, but it's also a hobby of mine to try different foods and to connect to different cultures that way.
So, you're probably asking yourselves who we are and why this even matters. Well, apart from the fact that we are fascinating as is, we're this year's Chaverim M'Israel.
That's right. So what is this program? The program we're taking part of is called the Shinshinim program, though here in Cincinnati, we're just called the Chaverim, hence the podcast name. In Cincinnati, this program has been running for over 20 years. The Shinshinim are high school graduates that are sent to different countries around the world to be sort of young emissaries for Israel.
Yeah, this program is part of a vast network of emissaries sent around the world. In Hebrew, it's called shlichut, which doesn't translate directly into English. It means someone is sent on a mission, often with a strong moral purpose. These emissaries leave Israel from anywhere from 2 months to 3 years, relocating their whole lives just to volunteer or work on behalf of Israel. Isn't that incredible?
It is. And it's even more amazing that they're all brought by one big organization called the Jewish Agency for Israel, or as we like to call it, JAFI. Founded in 1929, JAFI was one of the first organizations that helped establish the modern state of Israel.
And that's not all they do. They're all about fostering a connection between the Jewish diaspora and Israel in many ways, such as education, bringing emissaries to different Jewish communities, and immigration to Israel, which is also called Aliyah in Hebrew.
For all of our listeners who don't know what Aliyah is and why it's so important, let us give you a brief explanation.
Okay, so let's talk about Aliyah. It's a Hebrew word that means to go up, but we're not talking about hiking or taking the elevator.
Aliyah is all about moving to Israel. It's like the ultimate homecoming party for Jews around the world. Imagine packing your bags, hopping on a plane, and landing on a land of falafel, hummus, and endless sunshine.
And cats. Don't forget the street cats. They're everywhere. But seriously, Aliyah isn't just about changing your address. It's about reconnecting with thousands of years of history and tradition.
Exactly. Since 1948, millions of people have made Aliyah from every corner of the world. They've brought their food, music, languages, and even their favorite dance moves. That's why Israel is like the coolest cultural potluck you've ever been to.
So, whether it's for adventure, history, or just because you've always wanted to float in the Dead Sea, Aliyah is about finding your place in the big, beautiful family that is Israel. But We'll talk about why the connection between Israel and the diaspora is so important later in the episode. But for now, let's circle back to our story and how, of all places, we are volunteering for a year in Ohio.
So, we submitted our application for this program almost 2 years ago, nearing the end of 11th grade, and went through some pretty intense sorting all through 11th and 12th grade. But after many different interviews and tests, we ended up in Cincinnati. Pretty random, right? But it's definitely worth it. We're having a blast.
We sure are. We've tried so many kinds of fast food, but more on that in the future. Anyways, back to the topic. Let's talk a bit about our work here. Every Shinshin has a different job, depending on his or her community, so we can't speak for everyone, but we will tell you a little bit about our work here in Cincy.
Our work, very simply put, is to bring Israel to all corners of our lovely Cincinnati. Let's share a bit about what our day-to-day looks like. And honestly, it's busy.
It definitely is. We volunteer in Jewish schools, community centers, synagogues, and more. We work with kids and teens of all ages, organizing programs, events, and educational activities.
Right. We do everything from teaching about Israeli culture and holidays to helping organize community events. Sometimes we teach Hebrew words and songs. Other times we share stories about our own lives back home. We're here to answer questions, encourage curiosity, and give everyone a little taste of Israel.
Yeah. Another big part of our role here in Cincy is to engage with the Jewish teens, which is a fancy way of saying we get to hang out with some pretty cool friends and get them all excited about Israel. We go to the JSU meetings, which are the Jewish student unions in public high schools, and take part in some awesome youth group events.
One of the best parts of being here are the personal connections we make each day. We meet so many people, parents, teachers, kids, who share their stories with us. We're here to give, but in so many ways, we're also on the receiving end of so much warmth and support.
Now that we're talking about it, it's crazy to think of the fact that we got here just a few months ago, and already we've done so much.
Definitely, and we have a lot more to go. But my favorite part of this journey so far has nothing to do with our work. It's about where we spend the rest of our time, our host families.
I agree. Each of us lives with a host family that's opened their homes and hearts to us. We rotate through 2 host families every year, one for each semester.
And it really is an amazing connection. We both know that wherever we go from here, we will always have a home in Cincinnati.
Because everyone's dream vacation home is in Cincinnati.
The heart of it all.
I think that the host family was the thing that stressed me out the most coming here.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, living in someone else's home, sleeping on a strange bed, it's like a long sleepover with strangers.
Yeah, we got super lucky though. Our host families are incredible, and mine is only slightly crazy. Just kidding though. If you guys are listening, which you better be, I love you all.
The whole concept of host families is really cool though.
Absolutely. I mean, living with a host family means that we're not just visitors here. We're part of a family. We join them for meals, celebrate Shabbat and holidays together, and get to experience American life up close.
So right. My first Costco visit.
My first TJ Maxx run.
All the important firsts.
Yep.
Okay, wait. This is great and all, but why is it so important that we're here? Why did we take another year to fly far away from our families and do what we do? Why is the connection between Israel and the diaspora, Cincinnati specifically, so important?
That's a really good question. To answer it, let's rewind for a second. What is the diaspora? Where did that word even originate from?
That's actually really interesting. The word diaspora comes from ancient Greek, dia meaning across, and spero meaning to scatter. It's like a way of describing seeds being sown across the land.
So the word was originally about farming?
Kind of, but it quickly took on a bigger meaning. It became closely tied to Jewish history, especially after the fall of Jerusalem in the 6th century before Common Era, when many Jews were exiled to Babylon. That's when diaspora really began to symbolize people being scattered far away from their homeland.
Wow, so it's more than just geography. It's about identity and connection, even when you're far away.
Exactly. And that's why it's such an important concept. especially for us, as we think about the connections between Jewish communities around the world and here in Israel.
Well, I can say that for me, the importance of this connection was made clear specifically after one of the hardest days that Jews have ever experienced since the Holocaust, October 7th. After these horrible events, Israel was left broken. But the first people to offer us help and protect us were other Jews from around the world, whether from countless donations, showing up physically to volunteer, and being a support for us no matter what. This meant the world for us.
I agree. And it also shows how important it is to keep this connection alive. If we don't make the effort to connect, those bonds between us can start to weaken.
Yep. That's why being here isn't just about teaching people about Israel. It's about making real friendships and understanding each other on a deeper level. When we're here, living with host families and spending time in the community, we're not just visitors, we're a part of something bigger.
Yes, and it works both ways too. We're learning so much about Jewish life outside of Israel by seeing how the community here celebrates, connects, and supports each other. It's something we'll carry with us back home too.
So, what are we hoping to bring to you this year? We hope during this podcast, you will get to see Israel through our eyes and feel connected in a meaningful way. We're looking forward to sharing all kinds of stories and insights, from the serious to the funny.
Yes, and each episode will cover different topics, like our day-to-day experiences, life in Israel versus America, things we love about Israeli culture, and the ways our perspectives are changing. We hope this podcast will be a place where you feel like part of our journey too.
And to make that happen, we would love to address or answer any question you might have about us or Israel. We will put an email in the description so you guys can get in contact with us, and we will try to answer any respectful questions sent to us.
And to end this episode, the thing you've all been waiting for, the song of the day. Get ready for this to be stuck in your head all day.
Today's song of the day is Matanot Ktanot by Rami Kleinstein. This song's title translates to Little Gifts, and it's all about appreciating the small, everyday moments in life, the little gifts we often overlook.
Yeah, it's a reminder to be grateful for the simple things, like your friends, a beautiful view, or even just a peaceful moment. We thought it was the perfect song for starting this journey with you all.
Exactly. As we settle into Cincinnati, we're finding so many little gifts in the people we meet and the experiences we're having. So, here's Matanot Ktanot to wrap up this episode. We hope you enjoy it.
זה עוד יום שישי, נושם את האוויר, האור והצל משחקים שוב תופסת. השולחן ערוך, תמונות ילדות על הקיר, שיירות לבנות חוזרות מבית כנסת. והריח הזה שזורק לי את הלב, מתגנב ופותח דלתות אל אושר קטן, אל אותו שיר ישן שעובר אצלנו במשך דורות. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, רסיסים של כוונה, עיגולים של אמונה. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, כמו הכוח לקבל את מה שאין, את מה שיש, מה עוד אפשר כבר לבקש. זה עוד יום שישי, מרפסת ועיתון, השמש כמו הדאגות לאט נמחקת, מנגינות פשוטות זוחלות מהחלום, ושום שערה כבר לא תסתיר פה את השקט. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, רסיסים של כוונה, עיגולים של אמונה. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, כמו הכוח לקבל את מה שאין, את מה שיש, קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. והריח הזה ששורט לי את הלב מתגנב ופותח דלתות אל אושר קטן, אל אותו שיר ישן שעובר אצלנו במשך דורות. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, רסיסים של כוונה, עיגולים של אמונה. מתנות קטנות, מישהו שלח לי מתנות קטנות, כמו הכוח לקבל את מה שאין, את מה שיש, מה עוד אפשר כבר